39 and a half. She was 40 years old when she delivered me. And here's a picture of me when I was an infant. I came into the world at 7.5 pounds. Normal child. I went through my life in the 1960s. Pretty normal. I mean, I wouldn't say that I had weight issues or I had any kind of health issues. Typical normal childhood. Um, as a matter of fact, I wouldn't call myself an athletic person, but I did dance. I went through dancing school. I danced uh, from the time I was like maybe 9 years old till I went to 10 years old, and I was in dancing school, and we had went to every day. Once a week practice to dancing school, and then we had a once a year, um, say, recital. I was always outside. I was never in the house. The only time I was outside, well, the only time I was inside was when my mother was cooking dinner at 4:30. Otherwise, I was playing outside. I was out in my community on my bike, running around, playing tag. The only time I came into the house to eat was maybe for lunch when I was little, and then at 4:30 for dinner. And then maybe at nighttime we had a small snack. No soda in the house. My mother made a fresh iced tea. We had milk, and we had, of course, water out of the tap. So, yes, so I wouldn't really say that I had animals growing up. I had two ducks. Um, I think I was about 9 years old there. I think this was fourth grade. Um, Here's me. I think I was like uh, 8 years old on a pony. Yeah, so I was a normal sized child. Here's me. This is my dad and my aunt who had obesity issues. She was very short, only 4'11". But later in life, as you see, she's sort of like apple shaped. And she's only 4'11". My dad wasn't a tall guy. He was only about maybe 5'6", Italian guy, and there's me in the middle. But my aunt, later in life, I say she was around 50. She went on Weight Watchers and she lost 100 pounds. And she probably maintained her weight until she had a stroke and she was confined to a wheelchair after cardiac bypass surgery in her late 60s. So she kept through Weight Watchers diet back in the late 70s till probably about like the 1990s. For about 20 years, she kept her weight off. So she was a housewife. She never worked outside of the home. And so my issues really didn't begin until, I mean, here was me when I was a teenager. I would think I was like 15 there. I was about maybe under 120 pounds. Um, and I didn't have any real issues with food, no. Um, and I really, when I got to be a teenager, like 19 years old, this is me. I think I was in my early 20s. Then again, I had to watch my weight. Was I like obese? No. I had to curb my appetite, yes, and I had to curb my food. I would watch my weight because I remember in my early 20s I could see a difference in my body. So I would do like back then it was called OMAD or one meal a day or whatever. But I was always running around doing something. Um, Here's me as a teenager. I think I was in 10th grade here. Um, so, and then here I was in the disco era, right here. I think I was about maybe 128 pounds. I was about 5'4". So I'm a petite. I was petite. I was considered not big boned, or I didn't have. I wasn't considered thick or anything like that. I considered myself pretty normal for my height, right? So when it all began is here's me in my late 40s with my mom. My mom passed away in 1998. I was in my late 40s there. Um, I was about maybe 145, maybe there, 145. Yeah. I maintained my weight between 140, 145. I couldn't really. I delivered my daughter in 1985 when I was 26 years old. I went from 130 to 160, but I did have it almost 9 pound, 6 ounce baby, but I did only lose 10 pounds after I delivered. So, and then I had to work my way back down. It took me several years. It took me like 10 years to get back down to, I think the lowest I saw one year was my high 19, high 90, 140 something when I was like 47 years old or something. So here's my mom when she was sick. She actually had Alzheimer's. I wouldn't call her obese, but I would call her her legs, she was apple shaped, not apple shaped, pear shaped. So she carried her weight in her bust because she had double D's, believe it or not. But me personally, I have a smaller top and I have a larger size bottom. I maintained my weight. When my husband met me, actually, I was pretty normal. Here's me and my daughter, I was late 40s. My daughter was like 12 years old there. She was in sixth grade, I think. Um, and then here's later, I think she was in high school here. Um, she graduated in 2000 and some 2000 something. She's 32 now, so I forget. But yeah, I was, as you look, our bodies were pretty symmetrical. We weighed about the same. When I met my husband now, I met my husband in 2003. So I was 43 years old. I weighed about 140-ish there, maybe 100. I ranged between 140 to 150, somewhere around there. Wasn't really big into exercise, and maybe somewhere, but I did have to watch my weight. I was pretty normal there. Um, Probably if I was obese, he probably would have, we met online through AOL chat. So when he saw my picture, if I probably was heavy, he probably would ignore me because my husband is not attracted to overweight or obese women. So I always think I was 40, 41 years old there. So it didn't come uh, automatic. I had to work for it. Had to watch what I was eating and stuff like that because I was active in my job. I mean, I was on my feet all day. An active job for 17 years in healthcare, so I didn't sit down on my job. I wasn't sedentary, and then I think I only ate. I didn't really eat breakfast those years because I had to be at the hospital like 7 o'clock, and then another shift was 7:30. So I really did like a little bit of lunch, which was a salad, and then maybe a very light dinner in dinner time. But then I probably walked probably 20,000 steps a day because I was on my feet for about 7.5 hours working in the hospital. So when we married in 2006. So that was me. I did gain weight. I gained for the first year. I think I put on 10 pounds. So I was about 155 here, and I was putting on weight, and I didn't. I ignored it. Because I really didn't care because, well, I caught the fish, right? I didn't have to keep my body up. So after that, I just, nesting and going with my new husband and cooking and just life. I just stopped looking at myself. I stopped watching what I eat. I got a sedentary job. I started being in the car more. We were eating late at night, things like that. And then I woke up in 2011, and I don't have the picture here, but I show it in one of my previous videos. I woke up and it was with my daughter. It was in the like it was I think Thanksgiving or November or December of 2011, and my daughter said, "Mom, you're really getting weight." She says, "If you continue on, you're going to have a heart attack." And she said, "You are getting FAT." Well, I'm a little shorty, right? And I have a petite body, so I seem to gain it in my lower extremities, in my hips and thighs. That's where it first puts on, and then it gradually moves up. So, like so it was 2011. I woke up and I said, "Wow." I said, "I look like this with all these rolls." Um, I was there's two tires there, and those breasts they were the largest. They were probably the same size breasts that I had when I was 9 months pregnant. They were very large, and my legs would swell up to the point where I had no ankles, and I called them cankles. And so my ankles were swelling, and I had like edema, and not pitting edema, but regular edema, and they would swell up like Fred Flintstone feet. Well, actually, because my body could handle the obesity, right? And meanwhile, people were saying, "You look fine. There's nothing wrong with you. You look great." Yeah, I look great, right? Look at this. Look at that ham hock. This is the picture of me at my pool. That was the summer of 2011. Right. So my best friend Donna, and there's back in my video the story that she was converting from lap band to gastric bypass, and I decided to have lap band because I qualified. Why did I qualify? Well, I was over the BMI. I think my BMI was 38. 38. And I was 200. I had lost 5 pounds when I went to the doctors, and I weighed in at 210 pounds. She told me that I had to lose 10% of my weight before I had surgery. So I went on a 6-month educational plan with a nutritionist and my bariatric surgeon, but I didn't have surgery until 9 months later. I worked on a lot of things for the 9 months, and I decided where I wanted to go. In hindsight, I wish I would have had a metabolic reset more so than the lap band offered me, because it was only 3 months. But anyway, so I lost 10%. I had surgery in September of 2012. So I lost 5 pounds. Then I lost another 10 pounds. And then I lost another 60 pounds. So I fluctuate between there. I really wanted to get back down to 135, 140. The lowest I saw was with a BMI of 25, a fat percent of 15 or 16%. And the lowest I saw on the scale was 147. So I was pretty happy with that. Unfortunately, I couldn't hold it there because of different things. If you look back on my videos, it's all there. This is a picture of my body. There is one. This is me. Here's this picture of me in 2004. Here's another picture of me at my lowest, 147. I've had no plastic surgery. This was me when I did Ironman in 2013. I lost all my weight at the first year. Here's my legs. My legs went back down to normal. So if you really compare them, you really just can't. You can't compare it. From that to this. So the inflammation went down to my body, big time. So yeah, I was tickled to death when I did Ironman. I made for 3 years. I trained until I got hurt with triathlon, and my lowest at 147. I was quite gaunt. Yeah, I was quite gaunt. So in order for me to get back down to 147, I had to do a lot of hacks. Yes, I did. It didn't come easy. It didn't come easy. The weight didn't fall off my body. If you look back on my videos, it's all there. So I, 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 I go between a fluctuation of 10 pounds, sometimes 15 pounds, and I have to really work hard. And usually I gain the most of my weight in the wintertime. So I really have to work to lose that 10 pounds over the wintertime. And then I fluctuate between another 6 or 8 pounds in the summertime, depending upon swelling. I did get lymphedema. I got hurt in a triathlon, and that's all on my videos. The lowest my weight was 147. You could see I am very gaunt. I am very gaunt. I had lost all my hair, and you can see my chin is like witch's chin. You can see the top of me was all bones. I had no breasts. I had no breast tissue left. They were just like fried eggs. And that right there, that was my body. And I was so happy. I was so happy to be at that level. Of course, I wasn't perfect, but I had the body of an athlete, and that's what I wanted to be. So that's my story, and that's a look back into my world. That's where I came from. That's where I go, get and have gone, and where am I going now? This is I'm going to be 59 in December. So my transition into health for my body. I can't look like a movie star. Um, you know, I can't get back to a sexy vixen to where I was way back when. Yeah, I'm a middle-aged woman, post-menopause, and I'm just trying to keep myself fit through regular exercise, and I watch what I eat. I try to choose the healthiest thing that I could possibly choose, the fuel for my body. I don't eat for socialization anymore. I eat for health and vitality. Do I indulge a little bit? Yeah, I do. But if it's an item, I try to choose the healthiest item. And am I perfect 100%? No. But then if I am imperfect, if I do indulge, the scale goes up, and then I have to work double hard to lose the weight that I gain, because the scale will go up. So anyway, I thank you for tuning in. What I've been through